Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to the video. This is fishing vlog number 99, which means I only have one more week to get all my fish tanks in order to give you guys the full tour for vlog number 100. Well, I can tell you guys that it stands right now, it's not going to happen. I'm still going to show you all the tanks anyway. It's probably more realistic anyway that you get to see some of the ugly ones instead of all the ones that I have prepped and ready for you. I have a number of tanks that I just use for storage for clients' fish that I'm going to move out, and I don't ever record them, so there's no real need to keep them, looking really nice. Now, I recorded this tank because I wanted initially to first off show you how nicely the rice fish are coloring up, and also I wanted to see if I could find that red crystal shrimp that I had buried up. But she's most likely had them by now. I couldn't find her specifically. Of course, they all really look alike when they're not holding eggs. But there's lots of mulmen here. Like I said, the tank's nice and mature now. And of course, I have this nice large moss ball. So most likely they're in there crawling around. And sometime in the next month or so, hopefully they'll be large enough that they'll stick their heads out and be able to record it for you. So we'll see how that goes at that time. One of the things I haven't made any progress on is these two tanks. And that's partially because I've decided I want to put the new platy fry in one of them, and of course the zebra daniel fry in the other. And the zebra daniel fry weren't quite ready. They're a reasonable size, but not quite big enough yet that I want to catch up with a net. And the other thing is I was actually going to show you a clip of them, but I decided in my infinite wisdom to do a water change on that tank just before filming, and it was just way too stirred up for me to get anything that you can see. So hopefully for next week or two we'll be able to get that done. This is my large tank version of the culture for Cyclopsis and Daphnia, and it is now exceeding my expectations, which is amazing. It's just teeming with life. There's tons of straw on the bottom. I feed 4 full containers, like yogurt containers of green water into here every day, and I take out 4 of these twice a day to feed my fish. And as you can see, the water stays reasonably clean, and so this settles down a second here. It's teeming. There's tons of stuff going on here. I'm very happy with this, which means I'm going to alter my plans a little bit for some of my tanks. I am going to set up another full 15-gallon tank, so I make sure I have that culture available, because I do depend upon it a lot to feed my fry and small fish, and putting all my culture in one tank, so to speak, does, I'm asking for trouble, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to set up another one. The reason I'm showing you this tank is, as you can see, I've pulled out almost all the plants because I'm getting rid of almost all the fish in here. Well, getting rid of, which I mean is I am moving it to a client's tanks because I want to dedicate this tank to something else. I think it's probably going to be gardener and killifish. There's going to be a section coming up with that in a few minutes, and I'll try and explain why I'm going to do that in a second. The reason why I'm showing you this pearlweed again, besides the fact that it's taking over this whole tank, is this is the tank where I put some culls for my guppies, and of course, being guppies, you can see there they're having fry, and a large plant mass like this is excellent for fry. They get in there, they can hide, they don't get eaten, and of course they can find food, and like I said, it's just an excellent spot for them. And that is one of the tanks that I take all that green water out of. It's essential. I mean, I really like goldfish for that. They're really great fertilizers. This is the filter I cleaned last week, and as you can see, it's percolating nicely. There wasn't any issues with any of the plants, so I wasn't really expecting any problems with it. The worst sort of thing that happens with these is they'll catch a leaf and not notice it in when I put the lid back on, and it didn't happen this time, so it's fine. This is disappointing. I really don't like the look of this. It's actually beginning to bug me. It is growing new leaves, but the leaves are still quite a bit lighter in color than I like. I suspect in relatively short order I'm going to tear this down and either replant it or do something completely different with it. I haven't decided yet. It's just not doing what I want it to. As you see here, the peace lily has sent up another flower, which is cool. It's all doing really well. I'm very happy with this, especially this little fern here. The new leaf on that one cutting is doing exceptionally well. The other two cuttings haven't sent any new leaves yet, but I think there's a bug growing on one of them, so hopefully two of the cuttings at least will start doing really well. And as always, this pond is just a joy. I really like it. Everybody does well in here. I still need to obviously prune a lot of plants out of here. But again, getting time for everything is the hard part. I love these little guys. They're so much fun, and they really do love subwasser tang. They get in there. Obviously, it provides cover for them, which makes them feel secure. But also, of course, there's lots of little things for them to nibble on in there. And like I said, if I want to find them, I just move that out of the way a little bit, and out they pop. So it's kind of convenient for finding them that way. I've still moved a few more of these out to clients' tanks, but I think I'm finally getting down to the number I want. This is only a small section of the fry that I have here. There's probably about twice this number, and hopefully, like I said, I'll get this tank cleaned as well and get it set up so they'll pair off. Now, I remember from the beginning I was talking to you about using that paludarium for hopefully garden fry. That's because I want to change this. There are some fry in here, but it's just not as prolific as I want. I do want to get as many more of these as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all the plants out of that. Not obviously the ones in the high humidity planter, but the ones in the tank itself. And I'm going to get rid of a lot of the mulm in there. And I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time, and that is put together a spawning mop. Very easy to do. Not worth its own video. It's just a simple matter of taking yarn. This is an acrylic polyester blend. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. I usually use, like when I used to do this a long time ago, use almost pure polyester, but I couldn't find one, so I just got this. This is a simple matter, as you see here, just draping over a section of the yarn and then wind and wind away. It's very straightforward, easy to do, and this is going to be obviously where I'm hoping that the killifish will lay their eggs, and then I will do as they have done forever with killifish, just pull them up out periodically, harvest eggs, put them in a container, and let them hatch, and that way I'll hopefully get more, and I want to compare this to the one that I'm doing naturally, which kind of gives me about 2 or 3 fry that survive every month, which is fine. But I want to get a few more, like I said. I want to get a nice, really sizable colony going of these, and this is probably the best way to do that. So we'll have that as a comparison. We'll see how they do with it long term, and of course this kind of update will be done on Sundays. So once you're satisfied, it's not really anything relevant as far as the amount. Just tie one off a little bit, cut the other end, which will take obviously all the strain off of the yarn, and then just finish tying that knot. Now, when I used to do this a while ago, like I'm talking like a long time ago now, I remember this yarn being a lot tougher, but as you can see here in a second, I was tying the knot and it snapped, which is kind of weird and annoying, but it's a simple matter, of course, just to cut a new piece and tie that on. So the other thing I'm going to do is, this is just a piece of hardwood, that scrap that I had, and I'm just going to tie that on as a buoy, and we'll throw it in the tank. The other difficulty with this is artificial yarns like this are very hydrophobic. It does take a while to get them to absorb enough water that they act like a mop proper. So hopefully I'll show you that in the weeks to come, and also hopefully show you some eggs and possibly fry as well. So there you go. This is all set, and hopefully for next week I'll have you a full tour, and thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments section below what you think of all this, and I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.